Hello everyone, welcome to week 7 of Top Chat podcast. My name is Matt. Joining me as always is my good friend and co-host on a microphone that isn't this one, all the way over there. It's Joe.
Alright, mate.
Alright, mate. Once again, we're trying something new this week because we're constantly improving, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're always striving to provide better quality Top Chat.
Forever production value as well, with a sock on your mic. And
Well, this is the thing. This week, our new additions are that we're using a different recording program, which allows for 2 microphones through 1 computer, which is good because yours is crap, isn't it? So we're recording into my laptop, which doesn't work. No, which does work most of the time. So I am watching the recording thing at the moment like a hawk, ensuring that we're coming through loud and clear, and I also have a sock on my microphone so that we don't get too
Not
much
the only thing you put a sock on, is it?
so that we don't get too much echoiness.
Echoiness, yeah.
Echoiness. So that's the new stuff this week. Yeah, let's get on with it, I suppose. I feel like usually I have to clarify. Oh yeah, I should probably clarify. Last week's audio quality wasn't the best.
No.
Sorry about that. Basically, our setup last week was, again, 2 different computers, 2 different microphones, but then you had to share with Aaron. So yeah, again, shout out last week's episode. We had our first guest. Thanks for coming on, Aaron. Unfortunately, the audio quality isn't amazing.
It's not the best, but there's content now if you can.
Yeah, there's content.
The quality.
Yeah,
but
this
you
week
did what you could.
I did what I could. This week,
Wizard.
thank you. This week already, I can tell is going to sound great.
It's going to be the best episode ever.
It really is. I'm looking forward to today because I'm going to get my angry hat on a bit later on because we're going to be talking about gaming representation in mainstream media, and is it dangerous and is it damaging to children or adults or anyone? So we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on. You're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct event, which was last
Wednesday, because it was the day after we recorded.
It was the day after we recorded. Maybe we should have just recorded on Wednesday.
Aaron had to go home.
He did, yeah. We blame Aaron for our lateness. And we'll talk about the news in a minute. But for now, no point in me getting involved in this segment pretty much ever because I still haven't finished Odyssey. Although I think I'm on course to finish it. I think I said before March.
Yeah,
like before, not before March
you definitely
starts.
wanted
Before
to, before Days Gone.
before Days Gone, which is
Well, I think that's April.
April,
and then
yeah.
I think you were on about possibly squeezing in God of War. In
maybe.
between those two.
Oh, I've got Assassin's Creed 3 remastered as well to come.
Gotta play that.
It's a hectic schedule. I really like Assassin's Creed 3. I'm one of the few champions of that game, or people that champion it.
I champion the last Assassin's Creed that I played.
Which
Assassin's
was?
Creed 3 Liberations on the PS Vita.
It's because you champion the PS Vita all the bloody time.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing?
The same as last week.
Okay.
Life is Strange. I'm on the last episode now. Haven't started it yet. Just still downloading. Because episodic games.
Fun. And our internet.
Yeah, that's true. It's only like a 5 gig download and it's taking fucking ages. But Life is Strange is extremely good. Very gripping. It get like I think when I first played it, I was in like the first scene, like in the classroom, and I was like, not for me. And then I was just after Horizon, I was like,
Yeah.
fancy playing something a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker. And yeah, you can just rattle through it quite
I
quickly.
remember the scene in the school in like the bathroom, and doesn't someone like you can murder someone or someone dies in a bathroom?
Yeah, but that's you sort of rewind time and then they
And you
don't.
save them from and then I was
that's
just
Chloe, one of the main characters.
right. Okay, well at least you're enjoying it.
It's very good.
I
It's-
couldn't get
it
into
gets
it.
a lot darker than I thought it would.
Really?
It's
Okay.
very dark.
Maybe I'll have to revisit it eventually,
Yeah.
but it didn't grab me. I got to be honest.
But because I think it was free. With
It was free. Yeah, I
PlayStation
wouldn't.
Plus, so.
Yeah.
And then there's also the other one by Don't Nod, which I think is connected. I think it's just one episode. Something about like it's kind of like a Captain Underpants name. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about a little kid being a superhero. Then there's also Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a prequel,
Right.
which I haven't played. And then Life is Strange 2, I think is on the 2nd episode now, released in January. So maybe I'll get around to that.
Maybe. I didn't even know there was a what's it called? Life is Strange Part 2.
Yeah, there is. But
What else?
The thing about it is,
Oh, okay.
like, I haven't actually looked up any gameplay of the other Life is Strange's, but hopefully the graphics are better, because at this point I think it's about 6 years old, this game.
Oh,
And
it
it's
looks like shit.
The acting is superb, but it just doesn't translate to any facial features whatsoever.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I didn't like the visuals either. I think that didn't help with me not getting into it as such.
The other game we've been playing is Rhyme.
We briefly discussed this last night. Oh yeah, once again you're hungover this week. Back to form, aren't you? Good boy.
I'm not so hungover. I should be hungover.
You should be hungover. We had a bit of a mad. Well, I didn't, but we went on a bit of a mad one last night.
Yeah.
We were out till 3 a.m.
I had 8 pints.
8 pints of IPA.
It wasn't IPA, but
No, it was lager. We had a nice little jaunt around Kentish Town and then through Camden, didn't we?
we did where I work.
So you're slightly... Well, no, you're not anymore, but you
I
were
had some bacon and
hungover.
eggs and
And now you're all good.
all fixed.
Yeah.
But Rhyme.
Rhyme, yeah, we discussed... That's why I brought that up, because you told me about it slightly last night and then we decided to save it for now.
You're like...
It was
10 games.
It was number 10.
Number 10. 10th best game ever for you.
Correct.
And as I said last night, I was expecting this to be kind of a journey. I was expecting a couple of hours, like 3 or 4 hours, and I finished like what I thought would be the end. I was building up, and I was like, okay, this is the end. And now I've been sort of thrown back into a new island territory.
So, remind me again, you've not got to the bit with the bird yet.
I've seen the bird.
Okay, but you've not had to like avoid the bird and do all the puzzles to like defeat said bird.
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, I think you're about a third of the way through the game.
Yeah, which kind of, I put it down about Thursday last week, and I haven't gone back into it yet.
I do implore that you go back to it.
I will.
Don't just leave it forever, because it is...
I'm enjoying it, but I was
good.
There was such a build up, and I was like, this is the end. I was kind of expecting that sort of crescendoing journey moment.
I mean, all of the levels have that kind of crescendo. So I think you're only on level 2. I think the bird is level 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it's 2, because there was like a vision thing, and it showed me like 3 more islands or something at the end of the first island. So maybe there's 1 more island or 2 more islands, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I told you in my top 10 review, and kind of spoiled it for you, that the game is centered on grief, and the levels take you through the stages of grief. So bear that in mind, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not that deep. I'm very surface. I'm like, look at I can pick up an orange and all these sheep things follow me. I'm like, oh yeah, nice game.
Well, the only reason I remind you of that is because you keep mentioning like, oh, I'm going to different islands, and I get what you mean, but you're kind of not. You're meant to be focusing more on the mental aspect of what's actually occurring, of what's occurring. Okay, no, we're not there yet, or are we?
I'll get real deep on that. No, apart from that, Tennis World Tour update 1.12 has just come out, which is very exciting.
Can you play tennis?
You can.
Good update.
Better than ever.
Better than ever.
On Tennis World Tour, anyway.
Nice.
Go watch my State of Tennis Games in 2019.
That's top so opinion. Far, that's our highest rated top opinion.
It is. Although my new one...
Your new one's doing well.
Doing well.
The new one is, Are There Too Many Games? Which, I've watched it now. I hadn't watched it last night, but I have now watched it. And I agree with all of your points.
The thing is,
there are too many games.
I want to keep those to around 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I do about 1,500 words. I write the essay out, and then as like I'm editing the video, I'm like, well, I could have made that point there actually.
Yeah.
And then this point next. I wanted, in my head, there was going to be a comparison between like movies and TV shows and games.
Okay.
Because like you.
Okay. I don't know why I said it like that. Okay. Too much Brooklyn.
Because it's sort of like you can go watch every movie. Pretty much. It's an hour and a half, and then you lump movies and TV in with games, but it's such a different medium that you're not going to experience the whole game in an hour and a half.
True, but you could say the same with TV series these days. Like, I've watched Sons of Anarchy through twice, which I think I worked out is, I don't know, I need to quickly, it's like over 500 hours of television.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I've watched it through twice.
Also, Americans. Why are all your shows like 20 episodes in a season.
Mm.
Quantity is not always...
I don't mind that in a sitcom, though.
No, a sitcom, yeah, because they're like 20, 30 minutes. But something like Sons of Anarchy, it goes on so long. It's like 20-odd episodes in a season.
13.
And then you look at something like Sherlock. 3 episodes in a season. One of the best TV shows ever.
Quality over quantity, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of Sons episodes that you could just... I mean, there's an entire season of Sons of Anarchy you could just take out of the show.
Is that the
Irish one?
Ireland,
yeah, you could literally remove that season and the show would still make sense. Like it, yeah. Anyway, this isn't Sons of Anarchy chat.
Speaking of which,
that would be interesting.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. The other
Lol,
night,
Rim.
Which has Jax Teller in it.
It does, yeah.
And
well, it
he's
has
like-
Charlie Hunnam in it.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Charlie
But
Hunnam.
he's like the same person.
Is he?
Yeah, it's Jax
Okay.
Teller. He's like got his little strut on and his
Nice.
fake American accent. He's from Newcastle.
Yeah, he's a Geordie. But if you actually listen to him talk in an interview, he's got this ridiculously weird voice where
Yeah, it's very weird.
every like other word is Geordie, and then the words in between are like some weird mix of I was going to say normal English, of like a received pronunciation or
Yes.
Queen's English or American, or like somehow it comes out a little bit Aussie at times. And it's anyway, I'm a big fan of Charlie Hunnam, to be honest.
I like him.
Although I never saw the King Arthur movie.
No, neither did I. Oh, I mean, I've only seen him in 2 things now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Any other games you've been playing, or should we?
No, I think that's it.
Should we do the news?
Yes.
Because we love Clarkson.
Oh,
the news
Matt.
is,
What's occurring?
I'll tell you, mate, not a lot. In fact, I'd go as far as to say, fuck all.
Fuck all.
Fuck all is occurring.
Also, I
So
can't take you seriously with that sock on your mic.
I know,
It looks like a chicken, like from the little evil chicken from Wallace and Gromit.
that's really weird. Because as soon as you said it looks like a chicken, I immediately thought of Feathers McGraw,
Is that his name?
which is the penguin from The Wrong Trousers.
Penguin. It's not a penguin.
Here's a penguin.
I meant, sorry, it's not a chicken. It's a
Oh
penguin.
right, yeah, Feathers. But he wears the rubber glove hat when he's doing the diamond heist.
Yeah.
Why do I suddenly remember so much about The Wrong Trousers? I
It's
can
on
even hear.
Netflix.
Is it?
It's just been put on Netflix.
You know when Gromit accidentally triggers the alarm?
Yeah.
That used to scare the shit out of me as a kid because the door closes behind him, doesn't it? It's like a big metal door. That used to absolutely terrify me. And the sound of the alarm is just shocking.
This is going to be a great episode, by the way.
I'm loving all the
We are
tangents.
going off on not video game
It's because there's shit all in the news, and this bit's going to go really quickly. But then, yeah, you're going to talk about Nintendo Direct, and I'm going to... Well, we're both
Actually,
going to
wait,
talk
before we
about
get
the
into
other
the news,
stuff.
sorry.
Okay.
Oh, a few little
we've got a...
housekeeping things. If I can find
where's
my
your phone? Oh, it's by your testicles.
It is.
It's underneath your balls.
So a few weeks ago, I think episode 4, we had a segment called Games We'd Like to See.
I think that was 4, yeah.
We had a look at some potential franchises we'd like to see. I think both of us came up with like GTA London was something
We did.
we'd like
We
to see.
both said obviously.
And then
Portal
as
3.
I was looking at what to do this week, buried in the notes in my phone, I found a game that I forgot to mention. And I came up with this ages ago.
Okay.
So, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man,
Right.
sorry. Big hit on PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Set in New York, where famously Spider-Man is from.
Yes.
But for Spider-Man 2, can you really just do another New York?
Okay.
So, my thinking is, I know you're not interested in this, but Spider-Man 2 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Far From Home I think it's called, is going to be set in London.
Okay. That makes me mildly more interested by about 0.1%.
Because they, so I'm thinking, Spider-Man 2 London, on that GTA London thing.
GTA London
Just
would
to,
be
like,
far
tie
better.
in. Yeah, but Spider-Man in London, that'd be great as well.
There's not enough tall buildings.
There is.
No, there's not. You've got Canary Wharf and like a bit of Liverpool Street.
Yeah, but you don't need to be all the way up there. If you think you're just going down Oxford Circus, it's about like 4 or 5 stories high.
10.
Be swinging off that.
About 10. Selfridges and that's about 10.
Exactly.
Alright, anyway.
That'd be fun.
Is that the only one you wanted to have?
So we got a Sebi from the Webby, because I was talking about Fallout 4 the other week, and the cheek of this little Bethesda-loving bastard. He's
I like that.
I don't know what I said the city was, but Fallout 4 was set in Boston, and I said Detroit or Chicago or something. So there you go. Basically, all three of those are the same city to me, unfortunately. I know Chicago's windy, or was that Detroit? That could be Boston.
No,
actually.
Chicago, I think, is known as the Windy City.
And Boston, people are shipping up there.
I mean, Boston's nowhere near Chicago or Detroit, to be fair.
But they sound the same. Anyway.
They don't... Okay.
And also, we've got a few new games have come out this week. Where
nice. And one's coming out in 3 days.
Is that the Anthem?
Anthem. It's not the Anthem. It's not Good Charlotte, but it is Anthem.
That should have been the theme song.
What? This is the anthem. Throw your hands up. No,
we get a copyright strike. Watch out.
Oh no, yeah, because that was so close to the original. 3 days for Anthem.
Three games coming out, or have come out, and I just want to look at their Metacritic. And this week,
you're a big fan of Metacritic.
Well,
aren't
I just
you?
want. It's just a nice idea as to where the game is.
Yeah,
general idea. We had good scores the other day with Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2 remake.
Well, Resi 2's like top of the table, isn't it?
Yeah,
or it's up there. So this week we've had Metro
Exodus.
Which... Don't tell me, because I feel like I'm not as good at keeping up with this stuff as you are. So I'm going to test myself.
Okay.
But yeah, so Metro, sorry, and then I'll guess the next one. Yeah.
So Metro Exodus, after all the backlash, it got a PS4 Metacritic of 79, which is
respectable.
It actually had a higher one on PC, which I was surprised at, because, I thought
it probably just looks and runs smoother.
It does, but I mean, like, there was such that backlash that people are not buying it.
Oh yeah, but
on Epic.
Yeah, but reviewers aren't going to take that into account, because that's just bias.
But reviewers on PC are very dialed in on PC,
I don't know.
Whereas there's reviewers, like, it's reviewers on PC and then the reviewers on console.
Yeah, but journalism ethics isn't going to.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I've got another one.
Another game that's come out this week.
Yeah.
Is give me the
Crackdown 3. You're
Crackdown
right.
3. Yes, that's tip of my tongue. I was just Crackdown 3 on Xbox One because it's an exclusive. All
Xbox exclusives are on PC as well. So.
We did mention that. Yeah. So exactly that you can hear more about our opinions on Crackdown 3. Our opinions? Not really. That's not the right word.
Our expectations. I think I said it was going to be all right. I thought it would be like a 7 or 8. It would be all right.
Okay, and the scores
60.
on the doors? 60.
Apparently it's really bad.
Well, 60's not really bad.
Not really bad.
I'd say less than 50 is quite bad.
Yeah, but I mean 60 these days. That's not like to be a success. You've got to kind of be at 8s and 9s these days.
Yeah, you do.
Like the middle of the road is sort of fallen out.
Yeah.
But also, there's been a whole thing about sort of like PlayStation fanboys sort of being like, "Ooh, fuck you, Xbox, and your shitty exclusive." But also, like, you can enjoy mediocre games. I enjoy plenty of mediocre games.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I staunchly played No Man's Sky at launch for hours. And
you say hours, you mean days.
Yeah, literally days. Like, I loved that game.
And it's terrible, and still is.
So enjoy it.
Should we have a throwback to episode 1 when I said that No Man's Sky is a shit game made by shit cunts?
That's mean.
Haven't dropped the C-bomb for a while.
Right. Alright, and now we got the next game.
Give me a clue this time. What's the genre?
The genre is open world, first person shooter, action adventure, RPG light.
Okay, what's it on?
PS4, Xbox One, PC?
It's not The Division 2.
Nah, but you're in the right developer publisher sphere.
Ubisoft.
Yes.
Oh crap! I need to keep up with this stuff.
It's Far Cry New Dawn.
Oh yeah. What's even funnier about this is you did actually tell me these like 3 games before we started recording, and I still forgot. My short-term memory is appalling.
You just don't like games. You're a fake gamer. Get out. From now on, I'm hosting this podcast on my own. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Top Jack Games podcast.
I was just quite happily going to sit here and let you carry on then until you started laughing, and it took 3 seconds.
And I'm here with me, just me.
All right, me. All right, me. So Far Cry New
Dawn, which is kind of like a rehash sequel to Far Cry 5.
Is Far Cry 5 the one with the guy with the mohawk on the box? Or is that Far Cry 4?
That's probably... No, Far Cry 4 is Maiden Ping or something. That's like a sort of mullet thing, maybe?
Oh, the dude with like the pink tuxedo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Far Cry 5 is the one that's set in like sort of middle America, kind of...
Right.
Sort of like
I'm
a
probably
cult
thinking
thing.
of the wrong franchise,
Probably,
to be
because
honest.
you're useless.
Well, I don't really like Far
Shit,
Cry.
Cam.
I had Far
Really good.
Cry
4.
3. What's
That's
the
probably
one
the best one.
set in Africa? And there's jeeps and stuff?
Far Cry 2, that one.
Oh, well, I had that.
I had
and
that on Wii.
Wasn't on
What a
Wii.
game.
Oh dear.
What a game.
Oh dear.
So that's got a Metacritic of 72, which is alright.
So is that, of the 3, that's the highest, isn't it?
No, 79 Metro Exodus.
Oh yeah.
But a very middle week, but still. Looks like there's some alright stuff there.
I quite like this little Metacritic segment you've started doing, to be honest.
Yeah, just want to...
Because it's kind of like news, but then it's... Because let's face it, there's not enough hours in the world for us to actually review and play, and there's not enough money between us to buy all these games and play them. So
go and watch my top opinion.
Exactly.
That was very
nice,
phenomenal.
nice one. So yeah, this is quite good because it's like us keeping you updated on the latest games without having to actually play and buy them.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
We're just cheap.
Yeah, we're just cheap. He says, unscrewing the lid of a bottle of Tropical Crush from Morrison's, which is budget lilt, isn't it? But the thing is, you can't actually buy lilt anymore. Like, nowhere sells lilt, which is an absolute... That's a controversial corner, because lilt's one of the best drinks in the world.
It is banging.
It's incredible.
But, what's it? Caribbean Crush? The Levi Roots one.
Oh, Levi Roots, yeah.
That's a banger,
That is pretty... I find it too fizzy.
Too fizzy.
Bit too fizzy. Anyway, let's talk about the news.
This is going to be a great episode.
I just want to get onto the main topic. The news is crap, so we can just gloss over most of this.
We'll get out the silliness now before we get into quite a serious topic.
Oh, I can't wait to get onto the serious topic. I'm going to get so mad.
Love it.
So what's occurring?
What's occurring?
Was that part of it? Sorry,
Yeah.
I guess that kind of was. So what else is occurring is Deadmau 5 has Dead Mouse, of course. I know he's called Dead Mouse. You know who he is, right?
He's a DJ with one
Yes.
that looks like Mickey Mouse.
Correct. He has quit Twitch after being banned for using a homophobic slur. A streamer using a homophobic slur? You know what? Next thing, he'll be doing a racist slur as well.
He'll be doing a racist.
Doing a racist.
He will be.
What's the world coming
most
to?
surprising thing about this story, not that he's homophobic or anything, which I don't know, everyone is. Apparently.
Everyone on Twitch is
Exactly.
racist.
Is that-
apart from Aaron,
Yeah.
apart from last week's guest, bot_Murphy.
And when we start twitching,
Yeah, well, no, we're horrifically homophobic, aren't we?
just love being homophobic and racist and sexist. Ageist is the funny one.
I mean, it's not like we live with two gay people. we're just the biggest homophobes in the world. We're so left wing.
Oh, we were PC warriors last night.
No, we're not talking about that. That's a story for another day.
Yeah, so the biggest surprise about this story
Yes.
is that, not that he's homophobic, is that he was streaming anyway. For me, I didn't know he was a streamer.
Well, I mean, I think it's come about because of the whole, you know, when Ninja streamed with Drake, and then now he streams with Marshmello all the time, and him and Marshmello are like best friends, and Marshmello streams and
Who
stuff
are
like.
these people?
You know, who Ninja is,
Yes.
and you know who Drake is, obviously.
Like the Hotline
Drake.
Bling guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most successful artist of the last like
Well, as soon
5
as
years.
anyone
Drake.
says Drake, I think of Drake and Josh.
Well, then you need to get out more.
Drake Bell is a lad.
So Deadmau has now started streaming as well, apparently. Although, I don't know, maybe he's been doing it for a few years. But the funny thing about this was that after he got banned, I'm not going to repeat the quote, obviously. You can Google it if you want to hear what it is. But he then issued a non-apology on Reddit, saying that, basically blaming Twitch and saying that they've got double standards and that he didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, wow.
But he used the term that we would call a cigarette.
Ah.
Yeah, but to the Americans, it's of course a homophobic slur.
Yes.
But then he removed that Reddit post and said, "Oh, sorry, yeah, no, I was actually wrong. I just needed to cool off for a minute." And then apparently he said something about another like EDM artist last year that was homophobic as well. Oh no, he said that the music was like straight autistic or something like that.
That's it.
So Deadmau 5 is clearly a top lad.
Yeah, clearly.
Can't wait to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we can just talk about racism and
homophobicness. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
he's a
an
bit of a dick.
interesting
He's
story.
gone down in my. And I don't like his music at all. Anyway, I didn't think he was relevant.
What it sounds like.
I feel like he had a really big hit about 10 years ago, but I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, no more airtime for that guy. My favourite game in the world, Pokemon Go. It's not my favourite game in the world. They've had an ongoing lawsuit since launch, which is like nearing its end. It's basically a lawsuit where people are complaining that Pokemon Go has caused like trespassing and like public violations and stuff, which is true. I mean, it has. Because Pokestops and gyms and whatever kind of just popped up willy-nilly without any regard for, where they actually were. But now this lawsuit is somewhat coming to an end. So what it entails is Niantic, of course the developers of Pokemon Go, will have to, log the complaints. They're going to have a database regarding not only Pokestops but also spawns of Pokemon. Because, I mean, we get Pokemon spawn in our back garden, and it's not as if I want, 10-year-olds, not that only 10-year-olds play Pokemon Go, but, I don't want kids knocking on the door being, can I come in the back garden and catch, they've got to compile a database of that stuff. They need to have a thing on the app where if there's 10 or more people doing a raid, then there's a message that's going to pop up saying, there's more than 10 of you here, make sure you're being respectful of your environment. And then also homeowners have instant removal rights if there's a Pokestop within 40 metres of their property.
40 metres?
40
metre radius?
Yeah, which seems excessive.
So we could technically...
There's not one within 40 metres of us.
Is there not?
No, the closest one's where we were just walking the dog. But yeah, that's what I read it as anyway. I might be wrong. But yeah, instant removal rights within 40 metres. The reason really I wanted to talk about this is because Pokemon Go is at the moment pretty much unique. I mean, other than obviously Ingress, which it's based off, or rather it's developed.
The Ghostbusters one as well, or something.
Yeah, but this medium,
yeah,
the Harry Potter one's not actually like they announced it like 18 months ago and just haven't mentioned it since. But yeah, the medium is within its infancy still. You would argue. I mean, Pokemon Go's 2.5 years old now, and it's quite a big thing because of course this could be potentially a really big thing in the gaming world, like this AR outdoor interactive worlds on your phone, and it would just be, I don't know, not a shame, but it clearly needs more legislation in terms of like privacy and trespassing and stuff.
Well, it's one of those things you've got to learn as we go, I guess.
I'd just be interesting to see which way the judge, because it's being voted on in California because everything happens in California. Yeah. It'd just be interesting to see which way it goes.
I can't say that even when Pokemon Go came out and everyone was playing it, I never remember seeing like a mass of people surrounding a specific place.
Oh, you never went down to Gosport?
Oh no, I didn't.
At launch, Gosport is like a tiny little portion of Portsmouth, which is near where we're actually from. And for some reason, it was amazing for Pokemon Go. And it probably still is, but when the game first launched, people cottoned on, they were like, holy shit, Gosport's incredible. And it was like Gosport High Street was alive for the first time in 80 years.
Wow.
Yeah, but
well,
not
I
anymore.
think seeing as this is from the start, I think there was that, as I said, that outlying weekend where everyone was playing it. And now it's still insanely popular, but it's settled down.
Oh yeah, massively. Massively.
Everyone in your nan was playing Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like Wii Sports back in the day.
Whereas now I see a fellow player and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Even though I know there's, X amount millions every day, it's still a bit weird.
So I think it's much less of a problem now. I mean, obviously there's going to be trespassing, but I mean in terms of the complaint of having that 10 group of people.
I mean, it is here, but I mean, I still watch Pokemon Go. Well, I don't watch YouTubers, but I watch Trainer Tips, who is one of the most popular. And he lives in Long Beach, California, and it's always busy. There's always people playing Pokemon Go. In certain parts of the world, this game is still enormous. And, there are groups of not even just 10, there's 50 odd people all in one spot because, it's community day or whatever. So I think something needs to happen to make it more privately acceptable. That's not the right word, but just people who want their privacy more respected, obviously couple of changes need to be made. We'll see how it goes.
We'll
keep you updated.
Keep an eye on it. Yes,
yeah. I will do anyway because it's Pokemon Go. Another thing that we talked about fairly recently was the e-stores, like what's it called, Steam and the Epic Store and stuff like that. Well, Razer, the people that make like mice and keyboards and mices and all that stuff, their game store is closing already. It's only been operating, I think, like a year, and it's going. But I don't really understand what it was, because I don't think it was the same as Steam, because apparently it provided keys for Steam and like Uplay and so on.
Like CD keys or something.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. In that case, I'm not surprised it's closing, because is that needed?
Well, there's CD keys or
but
something like that.
If you're buying,
is the popular one.
Sorry, you go ahead.
I'm not sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure if you buy keys from the website, they can be cheaper than like the full price game.
Okay.
In the Steam store. I don't know how they get the keys and how they sell it on, but it's kind of like ticket touts, I think.
But in that case, how did it not immediately become the biggest and best thing if it's cheaper than having Steam?
Because there's already a famous one called CD keys. Like big one is CD keys or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I have to get Sebi from the Webby to correct us on that one.
Yeah, tell us what's going on, because I read the article and I was like, oh, this is topical, because we were just talking about like PC game stores and stuff, and it's like, oh wait, it's not actually a store, it's a key thing.
Well, I know they do like ones like they also CD keys do PlayStation games and stuff, but I don't think they're like any cheaper. So I don't really understand the point in that. But I guess maybe if you're buying there, maybe they've got like a reward system or something.
It did say in the article that
purchase through there and you collect points and eventually you can get a game for free or something.
Loyalty schemes and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when every YouTuber in the world was sponsored by MMOGA?
No.
Like back in maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when KSI still played FIFA, at the start of every video, he was like, MMOGA sponsored this video, you can get cheap. And I guess it's the same kind of thing as the Razer store. Yeah. It's just cheap keys.
Maybe we should get MMOGA onto the...
Oh, a sponsor would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would. It'd be lovely. Because...
You know what I'd like to be sponsored by?
Who?
Coke.
Coke? What, just...
Yeah.
Like money or just like the product? Get paid or get paid in the product?
In the product. I want the Coca-Cola company to send me Coke and Dr. Pepper and Sprite. Because I'm a child and I love fizzy drinks.
I do love fizzy drinks.
Fizzy drinks are the best.
They are great.
So rip the Razer game store. Final piece of news that isn't even news because it's a rumour, but it will segue us nicely onto Nintendo Direct, is Nintendo Life have reported that Platinum Games Scalebound is being revived as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Which interests you, doesn't it?
It's some hot tea, this.
So the floor is yours, because I don't really know much about Scalebound other than that it was meant to be an Xbox game that got cancelled.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an Xbox One exclusive.
Okay.
Because Xbox are always sort of putting their feelers out to that Japanese market, which they just can't crack. So every
really
now and then they get like they become like partnered with like a Final Fantasy, so like the Xbox logo appears in all the advertising. And this one was Scalebound, having an Xbox exclusive Japanese game by Platinum, which had a really cool concept of like fighting and riding dragons around this sort of like a crumbled world. It was all little worlds together, and you fly between them
on your dragon.
But it ran like shit. Like even at E3, like where they were supposed to be like showing it off and doing like vertical slices and stuff, and it looked terrible.
Oh,
but the idea was there. I don't know how that's going to go down with Nintendo Switch if it comes out on it. A console which is a lot less powerful than the Xbox One.
Well, maybe it's moved to the Switch for that reason, because isn't it being developed and made by like one guy?
No, it's Platinum.
On this Nintendo Life article, it was like, oh, it's being made by this guy. I guess that maybe means he's the director or something.
But this is also, I'm not sure how true this is, because Platinum have got Bayonetta 3 coming out, which is a Switch exclusive. They've just announced a new game in the Direct, which is coming out in August for the Switch, which looks sick.
More on that in a second.
And then Scalebound as well, a Switch exclusive. So their lineup will be 3 Switch exclusives all at the same time. I don't know.
Platinum Games, independent, or are they owned by Nintendo?
No, they're independent.
But, okay.
A weird thing about this as well is that even after Xbox cancelled Scalebound, they reapplied for the license, the trademark on the name, and the idea, I guess.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Scalebound.
Yeah, and I guess perhaps this is sort of like a Xbox and Nintendo, that little partnership coming together again.
Your idea or your thesis that the two are going to combine and kill Sony.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I've done my bit now to help kill Sony, my favourite company in the world, and I've accidentally gone against them.
Why is that?
For the first time in about 8 years, I'm getting a phone that isn't a Sony.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm moving on to Huawei.
Huawei.
But the guy in the shop told me that Sony are pulling out of the market anyway because apparently they make everyone's parts. So they're kind of like, why do we need our own brand? We just make stuff for everyone else.
That's fair.
And also they dominate the gaming and TV market. So I don't know if they dominate the TV market, but they do bloody well. But I'm sorry, Sony. I still love you. I'm pretty sure actually they probably are my favourite company in the world. Like I love everything Sony, which is a bit weird. I don't really have another favourite company.
I don't think I'm
Swatch.
hold allegiance to companies who are just trying to sell me.
Oh, I do for Sony. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because I've grown up playing PlayStation.
I mean, yeah, I've got brand loyalty towards PlayStation, but I wouldn't buy a Sony TV because I've got a PlayStation.
Oh, see, I do. The TV I bought recently isn't a Sony either, but that's because it's cheap. My TV at home.
Sekai.
Yours is like Tesco TV or something, but my TV in my family home bedroom is Sony. My phones have all been Sony for the last few years. Like, yeah.
Sony Walkman when you were younger.
I had a Sony Walkman. I had a Sony MP3 player.
Wow.
Yeah, mate. Big fan right here. Nintendo Direct. What happened? What's the tea?
There was a lot of tea. It was actually quite a good Nintendo Direct. There's sort of a lot for everyone, except me, really. But I've still quite enjoyed it because quite a lot of big announcements. And there's big announcements, and we're sort of finally seeing what Nintendo have got this year, and it's quite a lot. And that was all without showing the new Pokemon or Animal Crossing.
I heard that there's not been a Pokemon like announced.
No,
per se.
I mean,
I was surprised.
they've said they've like unofficially announced that they're working on it. Everyone is coming out this year.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Apparently, there's a few sort of mini directs coming up about Pokemon, which is a rumour, but we'll see.
Pokemon Direct.
So the first announcement: Super Mario Maker 2, coming out on the Switch. These are all Switch, and they're all this year as well. That was a good thing about this
Switch,
direct.
so like nothing for
no 3DS,
no Wii. Do they still make Wii games?
They don't do Wii games anymore.
Do they not?
No. Well, I think it's always Pro Evolution Soccer is like the last.
Yes, the swan song.
They always make like the last console games. I think this might have only just stopped making PES for PS2. Like
didn't like PES 2015 or 16 or something still come out on PS2?
It's crazy.
Madness.
But I mean, they never even made games for the Wii U, let alone the Wii.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
the Wii U, they did make Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. Unfortunately, it was towards the end. There wasn't enough life left in the console to make anyone buy it. So this was sort of like the last Wii U, or one of the last Wii U games where they were like, come on, you've got to remake this for the Switch because it's so good. But obviously there was a bit of like logistical difficulty because the touchpad on the Wii U was used heavily in making the levels. So they've just gone and made a sequel instead. Fair enough. Looks alright.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'll get it. Not massive on the 2D Marios.
Everyone's kind of gone mad for it online. They're like, oh my god, Mario Maker 2.
But you know, good for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them.
Absolutely.
So next was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 3.0 update, and the DLC character Joker has been confirmed, his release date. Then there's some amiibos coming for that.
Okay.
That's about it. The
Mildly
amiibos of Pokemon Trainer, Metal Gear Solid Snake, and Castlevania Simon Belmont. Cool.
Yeah.
The next Box Boy and Box Girl, which is like a puzzle 2D platform thing.
Okay.
I don't know, I'd never heard of it. I think it was a 3DS game or something. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is getting DLC. which is
I've
weird.
never heard of this.
The thing about this is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is a fairly old game, but it's still getting DLC.
Are you saying Toe or Toad?
Captain Toad.
Okay. I couldn't tell if you were saying Captain Toe or Toad.
Captain Toe. Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Nintendo.
But the weird thing about this is, like, it's quite a fairly old game. Like, it's not just been released and they're doing a DLC for it. So it sort of holds a bit of hope that maybe we'll get some Mario Kart 8 DLC or some Mario Odyssey DLC still. So
I feel like DLC isn't Nintendo's
It's
style.
not.
It's weird.
it's not, but this is sort of like an outlier here.
Yeah.
And Captain Toad seemed to perform okay.
Captain
I
Toad.
quite like the look of it. It's a puzzle game.
Literally never heard of it. What's
Captain
wrong
Toad
with
is
me?
one of the Mario characters.
Oh, Toad.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Captain Toad. Is he just... Well, I guess he's the captain of all the toads.
Possibly.
Does he have different coloured mushroom spores?
I don't know.
Are they blue?
Oh, they're red, I think.
Well, toads are red.
I think they're still red.
Has a captain not got a different colour? I'd want a different colour if I was a captain.
Anyway, Mario, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the exclusive Marvel game coming out on Switch, was given some new trailers and some gameplay. Doesn't interest me at all, but you know, good scoop for Nintendo, I guess, getting Marvel on there.
Good work, guys. Well done.
What else we got? Sorry. Clear my
Sorry,
throat.
everyone.
And,
Who's now deaf? Nah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Won't be that bad.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night coming out in fall summer 2019. I'm reading this from GameSpot, by the way.
I was going to say fall is the incorrect word.
Yes. The leaves fall. Let's call it fall.
I'm just going to clarify something real quick. You will have heard what sounded suspiciously like a fart. It wasn't. Joe's foot is resting against the armchair of the sofa I'm on, and you just moved it and it went...
I'm chilling out, relaxing, all cool.
I did not just fart, for those that thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Did he just fart?
It's also not a stretch of the imagination that you might have farted on this podcast.
Oh, I've farted while doing the podcast before, but silently.
Okay. Silent but violently.
I might be doing one right now.
Tetris 99 was released for free. I don't really get the whole Tetris thing, but it's also
No, I don't.
Battle Royale Tetris.
No, it isn't. That's not possible. Shut up.
Well, it is.
Get in the bin. How does that work? Go on.
It's 99 against one. No. 99 players against each other.
What, last man standing?
I guess so. And then I
Tetrising.
think you can sort of like fuck up other people's games. You can like send things into the ether that affect the other gamers. But it's free for people who've got the Nintendo Switch Online. So that's cool, I guess.
Do you?
No.
Oh, I suppose you don't need it, do you? Really?
No, there's no online games I want to play.
No, fair enough. That sounds ridiculous.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster was announced for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Coming out in May.
Yep.
And include the remaster of Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Does that whet your willy?
Vita's well and truly dead. Yeah, you know what? I might. If like down the road, maybe towards the end of the year, it's like 20 quid. I could play it. Because I stopped. Maybe if I also got the Ezio PS4 remaster collection. Because I did enjoy those games. So maybe I'd go back to those. Yeah. And then I could play Assassin's Creed 3 on the go.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Assassin's Creed 4 on my PlayStation as well. I bought that like ages ago and it was like $5, and I can still get it for like £1. Maybe it would get me into Assassin's Creed, but
I mean, it might do.
But I always like the idea of remasters or like old games coming on the Switch that I didn't get to play. Cool.
Yeah, because the Switch, like you say, it's just easier to play with because you can play it anywhere.
Exactly.
On your commute.
Yeah.
On your lunch break. Ooh.
That was
what was that?
That was the Switch click.
Oh, the Switch click. That was a bloody good click.
That was quite good for a first time.
I'm gonna try and like. That wasn't too bad.
That was alright.
The acoustics in this room are bloody good, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Nice big wide ceiling.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was delayed by a couple of months.
Don't know what that is.
Fire Emblem's like the sort of on the edge, on the precipice of being a big first party Nintendo franchise, like being up there.
What is it? An RPG?
Yeah, like a JRPG with
course.
sort of like a what's that combat called?
Turn-based?
Yeah, sort of turn-based, strategic
Final Fantasy
combat sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah, I'm
fussed about that at all.
Not interested in that.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Every week we talk about a plethora of different games, and our responses 99% of the time is, I don't care, not interested in that.
Well, you know what?
Not fussed.
When we're huge and we're getting review codes, I will give every review code I get, I will play a little bit of it just to see if it holds me. You know, that's kind of how I am. I'll give everyone a chance.
Did you hear what I just said?
I did. I was kind of ignoring it.
Most people I say that to ignore that.
So Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is coming to Switch, which again,
Hellblade.
that was on Xbox and PS4 a few years ago. It was sort of like a bit of a cult hit, that one. Developed by Ninja Theory, who I believe...
Do they not make Ninja Gaiden? Is it Gaiden or Gaiden? It's Gaiden, isn't it?
I don't think they do. In Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
Oh no, I'll tell you who makes that. It's Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
But
anyway, the surprising thing about this as well, so it's getting a Switch release, but since they released... what's it called? Hellblade. Since they released Hellblade, they have since been acquired by Microsoft.
Oh, you know what? Your theory gets more weight every single week.
I'm just adding the proof. Adding all the proof.
Very good.
Cool. Deltarune, that's coming out. Something to do with Undertale. Sorry, but I don't know anything about that. Yoshi's Crafted World got a demo.
Who's Crafted World?
Yoshi.
Who's that?
Yoshi.
Yeah, who's that?
Yoshi.
Who?
Yoshi.
No.
Yoshi.
No, you can't just keep saying it. You need to, who is that?
Yoshi.
Is that the little green dinosaur?
Yeah.
Yoshi?
Yeah, Yoshi.
Oh, right, okay.
Yoshi.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, Yoshi. So,
Yoshi.
Yoshi's
Cool guy.
Crafted World.
Just incorrect. Just so incorrect.
Oh,
We need to get big enough to the point where we can do a Twitter poll and say who pronounces Yoshi properly.
we could also ask
Me or me?
our two housemates who both speak Japanese like quite fluently and have both lived in Japan for a year.
Should I just shout? Johnny's right above us.
We could just get Johnny down. But yeah, there's a demo come out on the day of the Direct, which I was going to get and I completely forgot about until I read this article. So look forward to my opinions, my top opinion. It's not going to be a top opinion, but my opinions next week on Top Chat Games podcast about this, because I want to play it. And then Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy 7 are coming to the Switch, just like every other console ever has got Final Fantasy 9 and 7.
Yeah, they are coming out.
And then lastly, a bit of a big surprise here. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the Game Boy Classic, is getting remade for the Nintendo Switch. Because there was a big rumour that they were going to be doing a 2D Zelda game after the success of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
That they were going to be doing a 2D one, but it was going to be on 3DS. That was the rumour. But we've got it coming on the Switch, and it looks awesome. See, as I'm now a new Zelda fan, I'm definitely going to play this. I don't know if maybe I just like Breath of the Wild, but maybe I like Zelda as a franchise. We'll see.
Yeah.
So that was it for the Nintendo Direct. Some pretty good announcements.
So I was going to say, as the more Nintendo, what's the word? You know more about Nintendo than I do. So as the Nintendo guru of the two of us, what did you think of it overall? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it disappointing?
No, I think it was really good. Mostly, I can see it through the eyes of a Nintendo fan. Like,
I mean, it's got all their big names.
Yeah, which is surprising considering they've had like the big names have already been and gone as well. Like, like a year ago or so. So they're still managing to pump out those first-party titles and still get a few third-party games.
Yeah.
Like Hellblade, I never played that. I might play that on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that Platinum game? That wasn't on that list that I've just read.
Scalebound.
No, they announced another one.
Oh, right.
They said that Bayonetta 3 it still needs a bit more time. And then they announced with a really cool trailer. Let's see, what is this game called? Fill in the silence.
Fill in the silence? I don't know. Alright, well I'll just say then, as a somewhat of an outsider to Nintendo and the Switch and all the rest of it, I don't think it's very good at all. It sounds like, to me, the Mario and the Yoshi game both sound exactly the same. There's no details on Pokemon, and then the rest of it, again, all just sounds like a lot of either JRPG or just like actiony, jumpy around, slashy Devil May Cry stuff. I don't think it sounds very varied. Literally none of the games you've just mentioned would make me buy a Switch. Literally none of them. And that's
shame.
That's my thoughts on it. I feel like as an outsider and someone who is still sat on the fence about buying a Switch, it's now, because I was planning on getting one for the last few months of last year. I did really want a Switch, and now I don't see the point. I'd rather just like borrow yours and play Let's Go if you'll let me. No.
Astral Chain is the game, and it looks sick.
Yeah,
coming out in August, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that was Nintendo Direct.
Okay. And also our thoughts on Nintendo Direct.
It was.
So now we'll move on to our main topic this week. It's time to get mad.
Here we go.
You got to get angry. You got to get mean.
I'm just gonna have a sip of my citrusy beverage here.
Your tropical crush.
Yes.
So, what inspired? Because this week's topic was kind of my idea, and what inspired me to do it was, it was. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I was looking up news for this week's, because we had a different topic in mind, which we'll probably do down the line. And I was looking up news articles for this week, and there was naffle. And I was going to all my usual sources, and then I thought, this is just terrible, there's nothing going on, maybe I need to find a news source. So I just googled video game news, and up popped this article by the Daily Mirror, and it had the most immediately like clickbaity title that triggered me, because it said, this is the headline, so, the terrifying truth about gaming addiction and what it's doing to UK children. And it made me bite, and then it made me think about, like, well, gaming is still getting this ridiculous coverage in the mainstream press, and is it warranted? And I thought maybe it'd be something nice, not nice, but something good, something lovely for us to chat about, something nice for us to talk about and sort of throw our 2 cents in, because it's a big thing. It's not just in the UK, you know, it's in the States as well. It's worldwide. Gaming is blamed for a lot of the world's problems, and to play devil's advocate for a minute, I can kind of sometimes see why. I do think that addiction is problematic. However, the attack that gaming constantly receives from the mainstream media, specifically print, so it's old media, in my opinion, that mainly does this.
The Daily Mail,
the Daily Mirror, the Sun, and then in terms of TV, you know, it would be like Fox News in the States. It's just institutions that have been around for X amount of years, and they think that their way is the best way. It's very much
their status quo.
Yeah, it's very much a baby boomer outlook.
Yes.
I am to get socio-politically whatever for a second. Yeah, it's a baby boomer outlook, and kind of any excuse to attack millennials and Gen X or whoever the one beneath us is, just kind of grinds my gears.
Does it?
It grinds my gears. So I thought we could talk about it this week. Specifically, is gaming dangerous? Is it addictive? Is it damaging? Not just to children, but to adults? Because, as I say, it's been a target for years and years and years, pretty much since GTA became the cultural phenomenon that it is. It's being blamed for all sorts of things, like, oh, my son played Grand Theft Auto 3 and then he went out and murdered 5 prostitutes and blah, blah. I mean, that's never happened, but, you know, bit of backstory. And then you have other things like, you know, Anders Breivik, who murdered all those children in Norway, and he was like, oh yeah, I used CSGO and Modern Warfare 2 as like practice for how to use a gun. And it's like, cheers mate, because that's A, not true, and B, you've just demonised everyone who just likes to play Call of Duty or Counter-Strike. So we got, I'm going to go into the article by the Mirror in a bit, but you found, well done, because this was very recent as well. I didn't realise this was literally published like yesterday or whatever.
I think I saw Lad Bible post.
Lad Bible, of all people.
Of all the news sources.
I tell you what, they're shit cunts as well.
They didn't give him a job.
Yeah, well, I went to 4 different... Who calls you back for 4 different interviews, and then they just never got back to me? Like, that's bullshit. They didn't say, oh, sorry, we found someone else. Nothing. No kiss my ass, no nothing.
With the Top Chat Games podcast, you found something bigger and better.
I did.
Maybe neither of those things, but still.
No, well, fuck them. Anyway, so the Oxford Internet Institute they completed a study recently, and guess what? They found absolutely no link between gaming and violent behaviour. Who would have guessed?
Shocker.
We're not all murderous psychopaths. It was published in the Royal Society Open Science this very week, which, I mean, Royal Society Open Science, that sounds very... sounds like a good benchmark for this kind of thing. They clearly know what they're talking about. Things generally only get the royal seal of approval when they are actually, credible.
Apart from the Royal Mail.
Apart from the Royal Mail. Postman twat. And the study was described by the University of Oxford, of course one of the best universities in the world, as one of the most definitive studies on the topic to date. So this was not to be poo-pooed, this study.
You find, though, that people do poo-poo these kind of studies all the time.
And the Daily Mirror
just
has.
Selectively, like the anti-vaxxers. Oh, sorry, we're going to lose all our anti-vaxxer listeners now.
That's all right, they've already died. They're already dead.
Love it.
They've all got polio.
People who, don't believe in global warming.
You heard about all these diseases, though, that have, resurfaced in the last 10 years or so because people aren't
anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You've just undone hundreds of years of medical advancement. But anyway, we're not talking about that, and we're not talking about global warming and Trump being an absolute fuckwit either. We're not going to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really need to ask you this, but you don't think there's a link, do you?
I do not think there's a link between violence and video games. I do think there can, you can draw, I can see where the line has been, connected sometimes. When, someone's playing a violent video game or watching violent movies, they go out and commit a violent crime. But those kind of people are already attracted to violence.
Yeah, they've already got that thing in their head that says, I need to do this.
It's the nature versus nurture thing. Obviously, you're going to get people who can be inspired by doing stuff. By maybe they're inspired by the video game, but they've already got that thing in their head.
Yeah.
I believe that they would go out and do something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, I don't know, I just think it's, as you said, it's the line to be drawn by people who don't themselves play video games, and they see immediately there's that violence in their life, that's why they're doing it.
And it just now happens to be, because it's the biggest medium in the world, or, it's rapidly becoming the biggest medium in the world, that the old guard don't like it. And it was the same for Marilyn Manson in the 90s and Columbine or whatever. It's we're going to blame you because your lyrics say that you should, murder your parents. It's he's not telling you to, it's not like everyone listened to that song and then went, oh yeah, I should definitely do that.
And also,
it's ridiculous.
It fails to take into account perhaps the amount of people who maybe have this sort of need for violence in their head, and perhaps shooting someone in a virtual world, that satisfies the craving in a way, not in a
maybe it's an interesting outlook on it.
It's
but or interesting point rather.
Well, not like they're going to be a really violent person who's going to go out and kill people, but there's
unless they get a game of COD.
I remember when I used to play Call of Duty, and you were that I'm an angry teen, going through puberty, you got all that anger built up in you, and I liked getting into the game and being a bit angry at the game, and then get off, and then I'm well, that was relaxing for me.
Yeah, I would always come off of a Call of Duty session, relaxed, unless I played shit.
Yeah.
But
vexed. You were vexed.
I was vexed. That's a good word. That's not often said much. But the researcher at the Cardiff University, another quite prestigious university, Dr. I'm probably going to say this name wrong, but Netta Weinstein. I'm not sure. She added that the findings suggest that researcher biases might have influenced previous studies. Who would have thought? On this topic, and have distorted our understanding of the effects of video games. So, for a bit of context, the study was conducted on, weirdly, 2009, as in the number, on 2009 teenagers. Not in the year 2009, but literally that's how many. Interesting number choice. Why not just do 2000 or at least 2010? Why 2000? Anyway, so that was who the study was conducted on, and they found absolutely no link to it, which is interesting.
Now, see, another part of this topic is video game addiction, Which?
Well, we'll come to that in a second.
Oh, we're coming to it.
Well, that's the Mirror's article.
Okay.
I've got lots on that.
Okay.
That was just a teaser. But you carry on for now while I scroll.
Well, what I wanted to... Yeah, so video game addiction. Perfectly reasonable thing, I believe. You can get addicted to video games. You can get addicted to anything in the world.
Films.
Exactly.
Books.
You can be addicted to eating too much.
Yeah.
Addicted to alcohol. Just
running. You can get addicted
Yeah.
to running. You can run yourself to death.
Because you just enjoy... Your brain enjoys the feeling and it releases the chemicals...
Thanks, car outside.
Yes.
Dickhead.
It's on like the most remote road in London, I swear.
We live in the middle of suburbia and we still get ourselves. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. On behalf of the car.
I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, you can get addicted to anything.
Anything, yeah.
Because your brain tells you you're having a great time, and sometimes if you're in like a bad place, like mentally, and then you're having a good time playing this game, you become dependent on the game, and it's perfectly reasonable to be addicted to a video game. But to say that everyone who plays games for like an hour a day or something, like come home after school, goes and plays games, that doesn't mean they're addicted, which is just taking away from someone's real addiction by just saying, oh, you're addicted to video games just 'cause you play them quite a lot.
That's a good point, yeah. It devalues other serious addictions.
It does. Or devalues someone with a real video game addiction.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. So this Mirror article is disgustingly biased, and the headline is... I said it a second ago, but I'll just reiterate. So the headline is "The Terrifying Truth About Gaming Addiction and What It's Doing to UK Children." And not only is this atrocious journalism, like it's so badly written, the article actually offers zero evidence to back up the claim the headline is attempting to make, and then by the end of the article, it even comes around and says, oh yeah, also there's no like actual basis for our headline at all. Like the terrifying truth, there's no truth gets mentioned. There's no stats, there's no facts, there's no nothing. It's like, and what it's doing to UK children. But then they don't explain literally anything. It's just a headline to make people angry.
Sounds promising.
And it made me angry. What sounds promising?
This article.
This article. It's absolutely terrible. It ends up being more of an advert for a clinic in Thailand. Like genuinely, it mentions this clinic and then has a big old like paragraph quote from this money hungry, insane nut job in Thailand who tries to cure people of their addiction. But to go into the article a bit, so a Mirror investigation found children as young as 11 are being taken into care over fears they are addicted to games. So straight away, children as young as 11. So that means that there could be an child who happens to be 11. That doesn't mean... The way it's worded is to make you think that a bunch of 11-year-olds are being rounded up and put into foster care because their parents give them too much screen time. No, that could literally just be one child. And it also says, over fears they are addicted to games. It could literally be anything else. It just might happen that they play Fortnite 2 hours a night or something. And it's like, oh, maybe that's what's causing their anxiety and depression. No, it's over fears, not links at all. They can't back that up. While recent studies have also revealed that kids are spending twice as much time using gadgets and phones as they do speaking to their parents. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was 11, I didn't speak much to my parents. I was outside playing football, or I was playing PlayStation 2 or whatever. Yeah. Is this a new thing? No. It's not as if, like, you know, whoever wrote this article when they were 11, I bet they weren't spending every waking moment, like, holding mummy's hand. And
exactly. And you spend half your time when you're 11 at school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was just another kind of, like, bullshit point that made no impact and doesn't really mean anything. Interestingly, though, last year, the World Health Organization classified gaming disorder as a mental health condition, which not sure how I feel about that, because it is clearly some people do have an issue. Like there was that guy that played World of Warcraft literally to his grave, like he played something like 90 hours without stopping, and something like that could be prevented.
Yeah,
and perhaps
course. I don't think would it deserve its own name. Can it just be, it can be just addiction or reliance? Like, is it?
But then does it not devalue the other ones?
You know,
maybe. But I don't know. I think we annoyingly I spoke over you then, and I've ruined both of our trains of thought. So my bad. But yeah, like the guy that played WoW into his grave, he clearly had a big issue, and something like, you know, a mental health condition being recognised perhaps would have saved his life. But then, like you were saying a minute ago, does it devalue other addictions? And it's like, maybe you have to just quantify it in terms of this person's literally spending every waking moment playing a game. They should get help. Whereas you and I probably play, you know, 2 or 3 hours a night sometimes. That's not an addiction. That's just a hobby.
Exactly.
I think it's just fear of the unknown.
Still put a lot of time into it, but kids have forever been putting a lot of time into everything. Like when I was a kid, I didn't play video games much at all. I was outside playing football all the time.
Yeah.
Or I used to read books. Like I'd spend a whole day reading a book, but that wasn't seen as a problem because books are seen as more of like a
intellectual.
Yeah, like a vocational kind of thing.
Even though games are proven to help hand-eye coordination,
exactly.
response times, reaction times,
yeah, exactly, and like
motor skills,
develop the interaction as well, because games are interactive, so you're like sort of developing that skill as well.
Yeah.
And then when I say the closest I ever came to perhaps being addicted to a video game was RuneScape.
Yeah.
Because I had a whole summer where I just like wouldn't go outside because I just wanted to sit in and play RuneScape.
Yeah.
But even then, I perhaps got groomed, but I was making friends with like someone who was from Greece or something, and I'd never really spoken to anyone foreign before.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a new thing for me, because there's cool online games like they're interactive as well. So I was still like speaking with someone, but it wouldn't stop me from being able to like move away from the computer at dinner. So I wouldn't say devalue anyone else's addiction by saying that I was addicted, but it was possibly the closest I've ever come to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
To having that, but no one would bat an eyelid if I read a book all day.
No, but this is the thing. It's like everything in moderation, and if I'm sorry to get maybe a little bit too controversial, but if an 11-year-old is being taken to a clinic or something because maybe he's playing Fortnite, just as an example. I don't want to demonise Fortnite too much, but you know, as an example, he's playing it 10 hours a day and also going to school and blah blah blah. Do you not blame the parents for letting him or her like limit their screen time? Like they're still your child to raise.
Yeah.
Anyway, to move on, there's another bullshit quote that I love, which has absolutely no stats or facts to back it up at all. But they went on to say, the UK games industry has a market value of £5.11 billion, which is huge also, but it's a 12% rise from 2016. Here's the bit that I like. But is now being blamed for children blowing GCSE exams, students dropping out of university, and adults failing to hold down jobs. They say this with no examples, no percentages, no stats, no facts,
it's just
nothing to back it up. It's fear-mongering.
Kids have
and
always
it's ridiculous.
Not been going to GCSE exams for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Like, I bet if you looked at the percentages, it's the same. It's just perhaps there's... It's not even a different cause just because they're guessing at this.
Yeah.
But there's this new thing around the block that they can blame it on.
Yeah. My uncle didn't go to school. Like... And it's like a running joke in the family, because funnily enough, he's now like the wealthiest of all of us and like builds boats for a living. But he just didn't go. Like he got to like 13, 14, he's like, this isn't for me. And just stopped going to school. And like, you know, they were calling my nan all the time being like, Gary's not here, he's not actually doing anything. He's just always down the marina or something, or just like, you know, playing truant. And like... That wasn't because of video games, or obviously. I don't really know what the point I'm trying to make here is. Well, it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing.
And also...
No, you can't blame...
I'd like to point out, in my family, like in my immediate family, as in cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I am probably the biggest gamer out of any of them, with Seb being another one. But... I was also the first one to get a degree in my family.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's not like a...
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't correspond anyway.
No.
Like, if anything, I've disproved it. And one of the other bigger gamers, like my other cousin Connor, when he was growing up, the second one to get a degree.
Yeah.
Seb, the other biggest gamer in the family,
is on his way.
getting a degree. Like,
Yeah.
no one else has the degrees in the family. So, like, I'm not saying like a degree is like the be all and end all, but just to willy-nilly say that someone's dropping out of uni because they like games is just completely wrong.
And there is literally not a single statistic to back that statement up. There's not one. So that bit just really pissed me off. It then starts talking about this place called The Edge, which is a clinic in Thailand that claims to help break addiction, specifically in young men. And I wanted to do a bit of research on this place because I thought this just sounds kind of like a cult, or just one of those, I can't even think of the word of it, but like one of those just trick places that kind of, it's not obviously rehab in the sense of alcohol or drugs or whatever. It's not one of them, which they do good jobs, but it's one of those like, almost like how some churches in America try and like drive the gay out of someone, which again is utterly ridiculous. It's kind of like that. So I looked into this place because it intrigued me, and literally maybe not half, but a good amount of the bottom half of the article is just about this place, and they have a massive quote from like the guy who runs it, which I didn't write down because quite frankly sounds like a massive bellend. But yeah, I looked into it, and they do a 90-day clinic. So you spend 45 days doing, like, funnily enough, an online course, and then they fly you out. Well, you fly out to Thailand for 45 days, and you stay in this place called The Edge. How much do you think this costs? It's in US dollars to kind of help. And this kind of puts the nail in the coffin for me, that this is utter money grabbing lies and deceit for a non-existing problem.
Tens of thousands.
14.
Yeah.
14,000 US dollars, but that was for the 28-day course.
That's about £10,000 as well.
It's about £10,000, yeah. That's for the 28-day course. I literally could not find a price for the 90-day course. Not on their website, not when I googled it, nothing. And then I decided to stop looking into it so much because I thought, now I'm just going to get adverts all over, Google for this crap. But yeah, this article literally started focusing on this so much, and it's not even a thing. It's just a place that's like, oh, we'll help you stop being addicted to stuff. It's just made
even just
up.
From your description now, I can just imagine the kids coming back home, being like the zombie children, like sort of, hello mother, hello father.
Yeah, just sucking the life out of people and charging them the earth to do it. But then this is I'll try and kind of bring this to a close now because it's a horrific article and it just makes me angry. But this is what I mean when I've started talking about this, and I said how it sort of becomes full circle and bites itself in the arse by not making a single point. So towards the end, they have a quote from Dr. Richard Graham, who is the clinical director at the London Digital Mental Wellbeing Service. Thought I was going to say that wrong. Who said, and this is a direct quote, "But I don't demonise game playing because you can be a very enthusiastic gamer and still get up to go to school and do your homework." And then Dr. Joe Twist, female Joe, no E, well, presumably female, chief executive of the industry body for the Association of UK Interactive Entertainment, she added that games are enjoyed safely and responsibly every day by more than 2 billion people across, 2 billion people of all ages across the world.
And that's not like 33% of the world.
No. The educational, therapeutic and recreational value of games is well founded and widely recognised. And that's literally how the article ends. I'm not even making this up. I really wish I was.
And they have just summed it up perfectly for us.
So they literally have.
Like, everyone plays games. It's like
everyone.
When people like lump a group of people together, like in I don't know where. So in England, perhaps we've got. This is perhaps why Brexit and stuff has happened. It's because we've got like a stereotype of like sort of Eastern European, like people coming over here and working and like getting benefits, being lazy, basically
stealing our jobs.
Being lazy, stealing our benefits, and like perhaps there is it's the thing is like if one or two people have done that, but then you see that as the group.
Yeah,
so you don't see all the other Eastern European people who are coming over here and like working harder than perhaps like even an English person is. But
doing the jobs that English people are too lazy to do.
That was just like a little quick analogy that I was trying to think of. So what I'm saying is, in gamers, because there's like 2 billion, you're gonna see someone who's perhaps a little bit addicted to a game, or you're gonna see someone who has gone and shot someone who played a violent game. But it doesn't mean just because there's like 3 of them out of 1,000 doesn't mean
it's not that
it's
that
like
much, is it?
an epidemic. Like,
yeah. No, it's ridiculous. It just made me laugh how the article can literally start off with this headline, "The terrifying truth about gaming addiction," and then mention nothing about actual gaming addiction. Like, they could have used this as a platform to be like, oh, look, what 1 in a million are actually, you know, they need help, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't. Instead, they decided to try and demonise the medium and those that play it, while having no evidence, no stats, no blah, blah, blah. I've said it a million times already. And then finishing the article with 2 different doctors quoting about how games aren't bad for you. And then, like, the next day or whatever, you get this research published by Oxford bloody University saying that there's no link between that and violent behaviour. It just made me laugh that I found this article, I read the headline, and I was just like, I know this is going to be shite. And then it was even worse than it managed to make 0 points that the headline claimed it was going to make, and then just finished off by completely shooting itself in the foot.
what a shocker.
The Mirror, eh?
Yeah.
What a load of crap.
But that's newspapers for you as well.
That is newspapers. It's literally, it's old media not understanding and being scared, maybe.
They probably did the same thing with film when that came around.
I mean, I mentioned Marilyn Manson earlier. So as soon as something new and scary and unknown is there, the older generations and the older institutions, they just get scared and they look for anything that they can blame. But I mean, the genuinely really scary part of this entire article was how much they talked about this clinic in Thailand. Like, it almost reads like a PR stunt, as in, like,
that's the thing as well.
Yeah, as if The Edge has like got in touch with the Mirror and said, "Oh, look, make up a bullshit story and like just name drop us. Here's a massive quote from our chief exec."
Yeah. Or
blah,
someone
blah,
from
blah.
The Edge has written that, because the journalistic value in that article was just appalling.
Yeah, well, journalistic integrity at the moment is just...
Yeah.
I mean, and then again, going back to that quote from Oxford University where Dr. Netta Weinstein from Cardiff said that, researcher bias might have influenced previous studies. Of course it bloody did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that made me very angry. And clearly, gaming addiction, like you said, affects maybe the 0.1% and needs to be addressed, but addiction affects the 0.1% of every hobby.
Yeah. You can get addicted to horse riding.
Yeah, you can horse ride your arse to death.
Yeah.
Literally, dead bum.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you disagree or if you agree, either way, if you've got anything you want to add, tweet us at Top Chat Podcast. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment, or if you're on iTunes or whatever, can you leave comments on podcasts?
I don't know, but if you are listening on iTunes,
give us a review.
Give us a review and come over to the YouTube video, because give us any review and a subscribe, because we've got content on the YouTube channel that doesn't come up on the podcast feed, because it's more video based, and
it is.
We are planning to do, I don't know, some gameplay type stuff.
We've got some ideas in the pipeline, haven't we?
We have,
but
so we can expand this enterprise into a global
phenomenon.
Yes,
I like that word at the moment. I think I've said it twice already. So yeah, sorry, that was basically me ranting for half an hour about how terrible that article was and how angry it made me. It was.
I think it's the first time we've got quite deep.
Yeah, somewhat, I would say.
Yeah,
that's the title of your sex tape. Very good. So we're pretty much at the end, but we wanted to drop, because we need to get better with our segments.
Yeah.
Like, we came up with these segments and then we've pretty much only done them twice.
Yeah.
So
and I just keep on dropping controversial opinions, and I'm sort of running dry now. And I'm dropping stuff like Halo's not good, and
I knew you were going to say that one, because it's just an appalling opinion.
I still agree with it, but
would you like?
But it's your turn.
It is my turn, so I'm going to take a. I don't know. I'm really not good at this. Maybe I should write down a list of, like, because I'm basically trying to copy Richard Hammond when he talks about Conversation Street. We're going to take a a gentle jog down the scary.
Yeah, but we're not on a street. We're in a corner.
Yeah, controversial
and you go
corner.
sit in our dunce stall and face the wall in controversial corner.
Very good. Well, I'm going to now turn the corner, and I'm going to drop my opinion, that if a game is going to have multiple endings, then the actual gameplay time should not exceed like 4 hours.
Okay.
Because it's too much. Actually, no, I'm not even going to clarify, because we don't usually clarify.
No, we don't clarify.
I'm just going to drop that. In fact, to be honest, I can make it even more controversial and say that I really dislike games that have multiple endings. I don't think I've ever played, other than, I mean, I like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but to be honest, and Origins, whatever, but, well, no, Origins didn't really have it, but Odyssey, love the game. However, if it was completely linear and the story didn't have arcs, I would still love it the exact same. I don't like games like Life is Strange, Beyond Two Souls, blah, 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 where it's like, oh, you can choose X amount of minutes. No, I want to play it, I want to enjoy it, get in, get out.
So, funnily enough, whilst playing Life is Strange, I've actually been thinking about this thing, and sort of in this week of catharsis I've been having, where I've sort of let go of my big pile of games, and I know I'm not going to play.
You've let go of your big pile?
I've let go of my big pile.
Ouch.
Fell out. No,
Right.
so I sort of like just accepted that I'm not going to play everything. The way I play games is I'm meticulously going through, and I want to speak to every single NPC, and I want to get all the endings. And in this sort of cathartic week, I had a bit during Life is Strange, and I was like, oh, I didn't want that to happen, and I couldn't use the rewind power. So I was like, I didn't want that to happen. But actually, this is now my story, so I'm fine with having my experience, and I don't care about the other endings anymore. Like I would have.
Good.
But I don't care, because I'm having that experience with the game. And then if I played it again and I did something different, then perhaps I wouldn't have the same emotional reaction. And then I'd be like, wait, this isn't the true way of doing it. It was like the same with Bandersnatch. I was like, oh, I've got to go see all the endings. And I was like, actually, no, I don't.
Bandersnatch for me is different, because I was thinking, to be honest, that I'm being a bit hypocritical, because I do really like Bandersnatch, and it's the same thing.
But that's an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Bandersnatch is very quick, and also effort-wise is minimal. You make one decision maybe every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like something like Life is Strange, where, you know, that's a pretty big commitment in terms of like hours. And I think this is probably the main reason I didn't get into Life is Strange, is I don't want the option of like, oh, I've made a mistake, or I didn't like how that turned out. I don't like that. Make me do it.
Yeah, that's what I sometimes. That's what I used to think. But now I'm like, okay, I made the mistake, but that's my story now. So
I did it with Odyssey, actually. There's a bit where, this isn't too much of a spoiler, but there's a bit where you can either kill a person or save a baby from a fire. And I saved the baby, because I'm such a top bloke. And then the person got away, and my initial reaction was like, oh, I made the wrong choice. Like, why did I do that? Because basically the person that I didn't kill is a child snatcher, and is probably now going to go on and steal more babies. But then I was like, I could reload my save, or like I had such a strong reaction to it, I was like, or I just fucking deal with it. So I did. Yeah. And I don't like too many options.
I'm not a huge fan. Like, it's not like a attraction to me. Like, multiple endings doesn't make me, oh, I want that.
It puts me off.
Yeah, it probably would put me off. But like something like Detroit, I'd be happy to play once.
No,
like,
Detroit.
I don't want to know all the endings.
Well, have you seen the flowchart?
I enjoy the flowchart.
Oh, it's despicable. It's massive.
Because I'd like, at the end of Life is Strange, to see a flowchart to maybe see what I could have done different. But I'm not going to go back and play it, because that's not my story. You know? And I do... There's a place for it, definitely. Well, I mean, I definitely prefer being guided by a developer and them telling me the story they want to tell me.
It's your story. You make me do it how you want me to do it.
Yeah, that was a good one. We actually did
dive into that. Yeah, I was going to say, I did actually end up clarifying my stance, but did you wanted to do a quick memory card, didn't you?
Memory card, yeah.
So we've not done memory card for some time. So just to remind the people at home, memory card is a segment where we're just going to do a quick individual like deep dive kind of thing on a game from our past
So
that we would have had
attached to it, and
it would have been on our memory cards. So
we need a little introduction, like a jingle.
What's on your memory? We need a jingle. We're not having jingles.
Is that the sound of PS2?
No, PS2 was. Oh no, the diddling was PS1.
Yeah.
PS2, I can just picture the spiral of like blue dots.
Yeah.
Going like.
Okay.
Anyway. So, Joseph. Oh yeah, if you'd like to listen to my memory card, it was on SSX3, and I think it was week number 3, episode 3 or 2.
Really? I think it might have been 4 or 5.
Nah, I've not done it for a while. I think 2 or 3.
I think we. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Just listen to them all. They're all fucking great.
Just incredible.
So Joe.
So Matt,
what are you loading up on your memory card?
I like that.
Thank you.
Oh, I've completely lost it. Oh no.
You mug.
So we discussed this today, and I was going to. I didn't realise I had one written down from a while ago. So I've spoken about quite a few nostalgic games lately. I kept on thinking of some, and then I watched a documentary, this gaming documentary on a channel called Gamers with the A is a V, so Gvumers. Yeah, very good channel. They do really cool documentaries.
I've not heard of them, so I'll look them up.
So it's like the rise and fall of like SOCOM and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Okay.
And I watched one called The Rise and Fall of Medal of Honor. And
yeah, because that really has fallen.
It has, definitely.
It really has fallen.
I had such a nostalgic flashback watching that documentary of a game that I'd forgotten that I ever played. When I was younger, it was my older brother's game, Medal of Honor Frontline.
That's so... the whole time you were talking about Medal of Honor, I was thinking, this is going to be Frontline.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to... I don't know how, but I just knew.
Because I think I've mentioned this a few times on the podcast, I wasn't much of a gamer growing up. Like, I played like FIFAs, Simpsons Hit and Run, and like I had a PS2 and stuff like that. I mean, I was a gamer, but I wasn't like hardcore into it, especially shooters. I really hated shooters, and I didn't know why anyone played them. Didn't get into... the only one I played was Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1, and until Call of Duty 4.
I was going to say, the PS2 one's not the latest
and
one.
Halo 3 were the first shooters I played when my mate got an Xbox. But I remember playing this game just because I don't think I had anything to play, and I think I just watched Saving Private Ryan. And the opening of both of those things is basically the same. And I must have been learning about World War II around the time of the game. Because you're in a landing craft on D-Day, and you've got to storm up the beach. And I remember getting to... so it's really difficult, in my head anyway. It was the first shoot I ever played. You're going behind like all the big tank... stoppers, those big metal
big spiky
X's.
yeah.
You've got to take cover in there, and bodies flying around you, and I just couldn't get over the cinematic moment in a game that I'd never really experienced before. I didn't play much outside like Simpsons Hit and Run. I wasn't having these cinematic moments within games, or that anything could be like as emotional as that, even at the start of a game, because like you're playing like a real life event. And I don't think I really got very far into the game, because I really wasn't very good at it. I remember trying that level so much, but just that act of getting up the beach was such a challenge for me, being young and not playing as well. And then like all the bullets flying around me, like it's probably one of like the most evocative moments I've ever had in gaming. And like the moment you finally get towards like the gunner nest, and you're like flat against the wall, and I think you throw a grenade up in there or something like that and destroy it.
Yeah, you're reminding me of it while you're...
And just like that opening of the game and that feeling of victory as you've done that bit, and then eventually you get into like their side of the wall and
like the trenches
and start like attacking them there. Yeah, I don't think I even played much more of the game, and like I don't even know if anything compares to that bit. But yeah, that is my memory card. A bit of a
level 1 of Medal of Honor
Level 1, yeah.
That was good. Literally the whole time you were talking about it, I didn't say anything because you were just I was reliving it in my head. You were reminding me of all the little...
I feel like there was a moment in there as well when like you have to go heal like a teammate or something.
Doesn't someone...
down, and then maybe they die.
I think someone loses a limb, don't they? And you've got to go and like try and patch them up, but then they die anyway.
Might be like Saving Private Ryan, because it's like...
the two are kind of blurred in my head. It's been... Well, when was Frontline? Was it like 2004 or something?
I think it was 2002.
Should we look it up? You're usually very good with dates. But it was a PS2 game, wasn't it?
It was. I think it was on GameCube as well, and probably the original Xbox. But,
GameCube, what a console GameCube was.
But yeah, that was just my little.
I like that. That was a good look. I wasn't expecting it at all.
See, I wanted to go more for a game that I've actually like played properly and could go into a deep dive like with you and your snowboarding game.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you're bloody good, aren't you?
2002.
2002.
Ugh.
May 29th, 2002 for PlayStation, and then GameCube and Xbox was November the 7th, 2002. That was very, very well done. Very well done. When was the last Medal of Honor game? Was it the one that they tried to make to compete with like Modern Warfare 3 or whatever?
I think so. It must have been 2009 or 10.
2010 was the one that I'm thinking of.
Like the Afghanistan one.
Yeah, and then in 2012 they had Medal of Honor Warfighter, which I don't think I've ever heard of. Well, so it's been now 6-7 years since a Medal of Honor, so maybe that's something we'll see rebooted.
Possibly. I believe it's EA, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is indeed EA.
So maybe they'll release it like a week apart from the next Titanfall and the next Battlefield, because they just love putting things next to each other.
They do. I'm now looking at the list of all the Medal of Honor games, and Rising Sun, that was a game. Did you play that? That was more about the Japanese the Japanese American fight in World War II. That's a bloody good game, that.
So subscribe to Gamers and us, and watch the rise and fall of quite a lot of these franchises. I think there's a Resistance one, Medal of Honor, quite a lot of like shooters like Medal of Honor, SOCOM, stuff like that, and the really funny like theme going across all of them is. The narrator's like, and then the game got a PSP edition, and due to the lack of a second analog stick, failed miserably. And it's like,
oh my god, there was a Medal of Honor game on PSP.
I had it. Like Airborne, something.
Yeah,
like
I've literally just closed down the list, which is
Medal of Honor Airborne.
Yeah, it was crap because you
had to move with the circle triangle, or you looked around with circle.
Yeah, that was your right
which
stick.
Left like 2 buttons on the PSP to use.
Yeah, and you had to change weapons and throw grenades and all that with the D-pad, which meant you had to stop moving. Was L and R were like
probably
aim and shoot, weren't they? But I seem to remember aim wasn't aiming down sight.
I can't quite remember.
I feel like it was just like a zoomed-in reticle. But I
think they did Airborne and Airborne 2 for PSP.
They made another one.
Yeah, I don't think they made it to Vita.
Maybe we could do an extra chat on why the PSP failed.
I don't think the PSP failed.
Why the PSP was, I don't know, because it didn't fail. Yeah, you're right. It didn't fail.
It sold quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
if
we could just do
it. Hack it, but
yeah, we could do a nostalgia trip and talk about PSP because there's a lot of PSP games that I really.
This doesn't need to be an extra chat necessarily.
Yeah, we could just do it next week.
Yeah.
But for now, I think that's a good place to end. We're at our usual sort of length, so
yeah, that was a really good episode. I think we started off on running off on some
bloody
tangents.
Hell, so many tangents. We talked about Charlie Hunnam for about 5 minutes.
That's what the audience have come to expect from us.
Yeah. What was the other tangent?
I don't know. It's been a lot.
Yeah, there's been a few. But anyway, we hope you've enjoyed. To reiterate, if you're listening not on YouTube, please head over because we've got extra stuff there. If you're on iTunes, cool. Just tweet us and let us know, I guess. Yeah, again, at Top Chat Podcast. And
share us your opinions as well. Any opinions?
Just say whatever you want.
Questions or anything.
Tell us we're shit. Tell us we're great.
Just have a little bit of interaction. That's what I'd like to start having. Building up an audience, having a bit of interaction, a bit of bants.
Yeah. Well, I'm now gonna make sure that this has actually worked because it says recording 1 hour 37. So hopefully that is exactly what's happened.
Bloody hope so.
Can you imagine if not? That wouldn't be the first time that we've
not. No.
But Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. Share with your friends and share with your mum, because every week we like to say mums
And your nan.
and your nan. Your nan will love it, especially the bit where I talk about getting top tattooed on my bum.
Actually do like an episode all about the we, and then the nans will love it.
The nans will love it.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.